Well, I appreciate it. At the end of the day, we got off to a very bad start against a good football team that's hot right now. They played really well, and we just couldn't stop them. I mean, they rushed for over 400 yards, and it's very difficult to win a game when the opponent rushes for that many yards. We did have a couple turnovers there that put one of them put us in a hole early in the game. The other one kind of put the game out of reach at the end, but I thought that offensively, I thought we moved the ball very well. We made some big plays. I thought KD managed the game extremely well, and we missed a field goal there to try to get it to 2 scores. We fumbled a couple kickoffs or let them bounce around. Just things that you can't do to win a ball game. And at the end of the day, at some point you got to better stop the other team, and that's something we have a very, very hard time doing.
You
James?
talked about it being the blizzard. They score on their first 4 possessions, and then they get that turnover, and that was just too much. It seemed like. I mean, you guys played well in the second half and came back, but it just put you really behind the 8 ball.
Well, it did, and the win was a huge factor in the game, and we just started out. We got a poor punt early on. Again, you had to kick it low. I mean, if you got it in the air, the wind was going to be a huge factor. They score very quickly, and we got a guy coming open, and KD, he threw it in there. I wouldn't call it a forced guy; just made a good play. I mean, he kind of jumped out of nowhere on him, and from that point forward, we just never could. We could never cut it, get it below 14 points, and I thought there in the second half, we fought hard, and we got it close there a little bit. I thought, as you probably saw, the onside kick, I thought we get that one. We got a chance to cut it to a 2-score game because we were really rolling offensively. But we just couldn't overcome that early deficit. And again, it goes back to we knew we were going to have a hard time running the football. I mean, we went into the game just because they play a lot of man coverage, and when you do that, they got extra people around the box. And so, our goal going into the game was, hey, we were going to throw it a bunch as opposed to trying to hit our head against the wall. And, I thought we threw the ball really well. I mean, we kind of did what we wanted to do there. But, we just couldn't stop them to ever get the ball back to I don't think they punted one time all day. And when the team doesn't punt, and they don't turn it over, you're not going to win. And that's what happened to us today.
Their running back, Torrey, had 234 yards rushing. What was about him that y'all could not stop?
Oh, well, he's a good back, but their line just manhandled us. I mean, they could have, I don't know, Coach Simpson's a good friend of mine. I'd have run the zone play every time. I mean, we ain't come close to stopping it. We did do a good job of fighting down there on the goal line. We did give up 1 touchdown. They motioned the guy at the backfield, and they did a good job of scheming us up. They motioned a receiver out of the backfield and got a man coverage on one of our linebackers, and they scored there on a 3rd down and goal. And that really, you can't blame our linebacker for that. He was outmatched. But end of the day, I say it every week. You got to better run it when you want to run it, and you got to stop the run. And I thought when we wanted to run it tonight, we ran the ball pretty good. I mean, we just knew that wasn't where we were going to make our hay tonight. And I thought we didn't. I mean, offensively, other than the 2 picks, I thought we played well. It's just that many yards rushing, very difficult to win the ball game.
Is there something you try to do with the scheme? Because it seemed like, Martin was spotting KD, but it just seems like he could get an opportunity on some of those read options to go one-on-one. Is there any thoughts about maybe trying to change that up a little bit? Or
say that again, James.
On your read option, when you do the read sweep, there's a lot of times Martin was shadowing KD, but it's one of those one-on-one best athlete try to beat a guy. Is there any thoughts about letting KD run a little bit more off the read option like that?
Yeah, well, he has the option now. I mean,
or putting it into his head maybe to run a little
KD's
more.
He ain't the best runner in the whole wide world now, okay? I mean, he doesn't like to run very much, all right? I mean, that was, you look at him, and he's big, and when he does run, he makes some plays and whatnot, but that's not his forte. So, but he has that option, and but most time when he comes out there, he has option to run it or pass it, and he was throwing the ball really well. I mean, the second pick six, guy makes a good play on the tip. If he doesn't tip it, it may go to the house. I mean, the guy was running wide open with their man coverage, and so he has that option to do that. You'd probably have to ask KD, but KD don't like to run the ball that much. He likes to throw it.
What is it about this rivalry with Martin the past, I think, 3 years? A team that scored in the 60s and all kinds of offense put together. Is it just the way the two teams match up scheme-wise?
Yeah, you know, we've since I've been here, we've had a very difficult time stopping the run, and we've done a lot of different things to try to alleviate that problem, and it doesn't seem to work. So we got to figure out another way to stop the run. And then, you know, they're a big man coverage team. I mean, they blitz you, and you know, when you play a team like that, you're either going to get stuffed or you're going to have a big play. And a couple times we got stuffed, but we had a lot of big plays too. And when you play that kind of defense that they play, it could go one or the other way. And today, you know, I thought we made enough plays offensively to win the game. But again, we couldn't ever. They just had such a lead, and we just couldn't ever overcome that lead.
I guess it's just hard for you guys because if you go to a four-man front, it's a linebacker instead of two defensive tackles and two defensive ends. So it's hard for you guys to go to a four-man front to try to a traditional four-man front to try.
Yeah,
to
well, we do that some. You know, the biggest key, the reason we don't do it is we don't have that many defensive linemen. You know, I know you come out to practice on Wednesday, and you know, Thursday during practice, Bishop Woods went out with a concussion, so he was out of the game. You know, Demetrius Mason, he's been kind of banged up. He got banged up in practice too, so he wasn't 100%. You know, we just don't have enough D linemen to play the four-man front. I don't think it would have mattered today. We had a bunch of guys in the box, and we still couldn't, you know, we couldn't stop them having 8-9 guys sitting around there. So, you know, we played a four-man front before Coach Thorell got here, and they still scored a whole bunch of points on us there. So I don't know if that's the issue or scheme-wise. We got a lot of work to do, and I'm very disappointed. But again, they're a good team. They're hot right now, and it just goes back. You don't stop the run, you're not going to win the ball game.